Morning, Jamie.
Okay. I just get the resolution titles and I order that. That's all right. No, I hear you. I get the resolution. So these are the minutes, right? So I don't need that.
Brinker Hub, Marion again. They're doing another Zoom market, I guess.
Yeah.
They're just doing it every Saturday, aren't they? That's fantastic.
Wait, what is this?
We approved it, but I don't remember offhand. I think it was part of our city operations
These are the minutes.
committee. Here we go.
Yeah.
Yep. Saturday, August 14th.
Oh, okay. Very cool.
I just
We're
need
doing
the
that once a month,
resolution.
Well, they did it twice here.
Can I have the resolution? No, the resolution, not just the
Resolution packet.
yes. I'm gonna steal yours.
Okay. We'll share.
You move down and we can share. Jeff's not here. If you need it, do
It's
you
okay.
need it?
We'll share it. Oh, wait.
Do you have yours, Elizabeth?
Yeah, I have my, so we're looking at,
Can you just share your packet?
I have,
I enjoy it. Oh, yeah.
city operations, I think are the only resolutions we have, right?
No, we have county, city ops and finance.
Concrete's hard work.
Yeah, city ops, that's what did I say? I don't remember what I just said.
City ops, you said you had city ops only.
No, but the other resolutions, I didn't print because they were so long, like the insurance renewal and,
Okay.
yeah.
That's okay. Sometimes I remember.
I'll give her my city ops stuff, but you can ask,
Actually, I
you can
remember.
ask Sylvia to print these and put them in your mailbox for next week, because there's public safety, some of things, if you want.
Okay.
So these are these.
You know what? I remember this. That's easy. That's easy.
So this is the
All
stuff
right,
I
folks, we're gonna
got.
call this meeting to order.
If you want to look at it.
Okay.
It's now 5:05 PM. Please rise and join me with the pledge. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Ms. Barrett, will you please conduct a roll call?
Mayor Rosenfeld.
Here.
Councilor Canales.
Here.
Councilor Kelly.
Here.
Councilor Gibbs.
Here.
Councilor Talon.
Here.
Councilor Moore.
Councilman Moore has been excused. All councilors have received a copy of the July 1st, 2021 regular meeting, a copy of the minutes of the July 1st, 2020 regular meeting. If there are no additions, deletions, or corrections, I'll now entertain a motion to accept the minutes as presented. Motion by Councilor Canales, second by Councilor Gibbs. Discussion. All in favor?
Hi.
Opposed? Carried. I'll now recognize those in the audience who wish to share their thoughts and concerns with the council on any topic. Please come to the podium to be acknowledged. When called upon, we ask that you please state your legal name and address for the record. And in accordance with the organizational rules of order, all speakers will be given 5 minutes to address the council. Please.
Good evening. I'm here this evening. I'll try to be in 5 minutes, but I have some stuff to say.
We're flexible.
I'm here this evening
Just,
because
we're flexible, but just please be respectful of the time. Thank you.
I'm here because of the way the public comment system works within the council. And that is that when a member of the public speaks, or either during a public hearing or a public comment period, the councilors are allowed to respond, but then the public cannot respond back. So what I'm really trying to do is, the councilors sort of get the last word. And the only way for me to create a dialogue is to come back to the next public comment period and continue the conversation. The following comments are to be considered part of this conversation that was started at my public comments at last week's Finance Committee meeting, continued when a councilor then responded to my statement. So, and I'll try and get this done. Regarding the appointment of a board requested member to fill a present vacancy, which is what I talked about before, although it was extremely disappointed that we were not able yet to secure the appointment of a highly qualified individual for the ZBA, I was even more concerned, frustrated, disheartened, whatever word you want to use, by the methods used to stop the mayoral appointment of someone who would also had the full support of the ZBA and the unanimous recommendation of the entire zoning board. So a quick history, just in case you forgot. The original resolution to appoint was sent to the Public Safety Committee, where I was told it was unanimously opposed by 3 members, so it did not even get consideration by the entire council. That process seems flawed to me. There is no public record of that meeting on the city website. No agenda or video of the meeting is available to the public. And if the meeting information was available, the public might have had an inkling as to why the committee rejected an excellent candidate. I am told the decision was made by an email poll of councilors who unanimously opposed the forwarding of the appointment to the entire council. Although I have been assured that this polling meets the open meeting law requirements, there is some question whether it actually is allowed, and it certainly does not exemplify transparency in government. The secretive nature of the vote makes it at least difficult for the public to even know the existence of matters that are decided this way if not approved. There is also no public explanation given as to the reason to deny the resolution going to the full council. And despite the councilor's statement to the contrary at the last meeting, councilors should be required to provide the reasons they vote to approve or oppose a public issue. After the initial rejection by the first committee, the zoning board recommended the appointment and asked for a new resolution to appoint be considered. So it went to the finance committee. The 4 councilors present unanimously opposed forwarding the new resolution to the council. No reason or explanation was given during the public comment period. I expressed my dismay. I explained that this was an example of the council using the political clout to control an independent board. Boards are supposed to be free of any political influence. I asked what was the reason for the opposition. I felt the council was trying to shape the board to their liking, along with the recent passing and proposing of laws that strip the boards of their most useful tools and powers to protect the quality of life in the city. I chose not to stay after speaking my piece, as past experience showed that a councilor could respond as they wished to public comments, but the public was not allowed to respond to the councilor's statement. So I decided that I would do any response at the next public comment period, which I'm doing today. After I left, Councilor Gibbs, who I also feel is quite well respected, chose to question why this was on the agenda when already opposed previously. She stated they did not need to give the original reason for opposition. She indicated that the council did not just rubber stamp appointments. She asked if this was an attempt to embarrass the council or appointee, and that she did not like feeling bullied publicly. Had I been allowed to respond then, I would have asked why public officials don't need to disclose the reasons for their actions. I wanted to know, and I have the right to know, what was the problem with the appointment that caused opposition. I believe public officials need to be held accountable for and need to explain their decisions. I can only assume that some councilors did not like the proposed appointee's stance on some issues and may feel that any critical comments about the city's actions were actually disparaging to the council, even, and differences of opinions expressed publicly are a problem. Is this a reason for disqualification? Basically, if you don't fully support and agree with the council, you don't deserve to be on an independent board. As the mayor also answered at the committee meeting, the reason this resolution was sent to the committee was because it was the request of the zoning board, not the mayor this time. And the wishes of the ZBA were obviously not even considered. As for rubber stamping appointments, history shows that the council has never, ever previously opposed mayoral appointments. Opposing the further recommendation of the entire zoning board is a clear sign of trying to influence independent boards that has never happened before. The council had no problem approving the most recent appointments by the previous mayor without even consulting boards or the departments that were controlling those boards, as that was the general practice with all previous ones. It is certainly not the intention to embarrass the councilors or the appointee, but rather to get a highly qualified appointment to the zoning board. If councilors are embarrassed by their actions, maybe they need to ask themselves why. As for feeling bullied, if anyone should feel bullied, It is all the members of the ZBA. The recommendation of the board was not even considered, as the council chose to force their will on one of the independent boards. I also want to address all of the councilors who speak so publicly about embracing diversity and how important it is to understand that we are all different, but deserve respect, support, and the same rights as everyone else. It's okay to support diversity regarding race, sexual and gender orientation, religion, and other differences. But I guess when it comes to diversity of thoughts or opinions, it seems there's only room for those that agree with the council and their vision. Please understand, it is not my intention to fight with the council. It is solely my interest in continuing the independence and the effective work of the Zoning Board of Appeals and the Planning Board that brings me back again and again. Both boards need the freedom to protect the quality of life for everyone in the city of Plattsburgh through consistent zoning and planning, free from political influence. We are independent boards and need to be treated as such. Thank you.
Thank you, Ron. Are there any other members of the public who would wish to address the council? Seeing none, we will now go on to committee reports. Each standing committee is chaired by a councilor, and I will call on the chairperson of each committee, starting with city operations. As most folks know, there's a vacancy in the chair of that committee. But however, on 7/2, we met to discuss the status of the IT managed service contract, IT throughout the city and IT at PD. Items 176 through 180 have been placed on tonight's agenda at the recommendation of that committee. Finance and Economic Development met on 7/8, where we had a comprehensive update from the CDO office on a number of projects that they are currently managing. Martin and LaJudas presented their CFA updates along with the work that they're doing with department heads to identify project and grant opportunities for those departments. Items 169 through 175 have been placed on tonight's agenda for the recommendation of that committee. City infrastructure, there is no report. However, the next meeting is to be held on 8/2 at 5 p.m. Public Safety, Councilor Gibbs.
Yes, we're going to have our next scheduled meeting on Monday. I would really like if all the council would attend if possible. I'm asking for some updates. I sent out a list
Received.
to the mayor on a few things from the fire department and the police department, but it's not completed yet because there's still more information that I'm looking for. So I anticipate we're going to have a very robust discussion about the status of a number of things. I also want council to know that I worked with Councilor Moore and submitted a document to Corporation Council to create a local law regarding fires in the city. It isn't completed yet because Corporation Council is going to submit that to the various department heads to review it. And when that's completed, I'm going to make sure that everyone gets a chance to look at it. So that will be coming up soon. And I think that's all I have for now.
Mr. Sneller, any staff reports?
No, no need for executive.
Good. I'll now entertain a motion to approve the payrolls of various city departments for the weeks ending July 15th, 2021 in the amount of $563,957.84. Motion by Councilor Kelly, second. Councilor Canales. Roll call.
Councilor Canales?
Yes.
Councilor Kelly?
Yeah.
Councilor Gibbs?
Yes.
Councilor Talon?
Yes.
Carried. I'll now entertain a motion to approve the bills audited by the Common Council for the weeks ending July 16th, 2021 in the amount of $864,521.48. Motion by Councilor Gibbs, second by Councilor Canales. Discussion. Roll call.
Councilor Canales?
Yes.
Councilor Kelly?
Yeah.
Councilor Gibbs?
Yes.
Councilor Talon?
Yes.
Carried. Before voting on the following resolutions, I will note that the majority of these resolutions have been thoroughly discussed by the appropriate committees and department heads. We're now taking actions on these items in large part due to the recommendation of those committees. Ms. Barrett, will you please read the titles of the resolutions to be acted upon?
Item 7169, appoint Ken Vincent as planner.
Motion, Councilor Gibbs, second by Councilor Kelly. Discussion. Roll call.
Councilor Canales?
Yes.
Councilor Kelly?
Yes.
Councilor Gibbs?
Yes.
Councilor Talon? Sorry.
Yes.
Carried.
Item 7170, approval of artwork installation at Betty Little Arts Park.
Motion by Councilor Gibbs, second by Councilor Canales. Discussion. Roll call.
Councilor Canales?
Yes.
Councilor Kelly?
Yes.
Councilor Gibbs?
Yes.
Councilor Talon?
Yes.
Carried.
Item 7.171, 171. Approval of agreement of Violet's Home CDBG grant administration.
Motion. Counselor Gibbs, second by Counselor Canales. Discussion. Roll call.
Councilor Canales?
Yes.
Councilor Kelly?
Yeah.
Councilor Gibbs?
Yes.
Councilor Talon?
Yes.
Item
Carried.
7.172, authorizing insurance renewals.
Motion by Counselor Gibbs, second by Counselor Canales. Discussion. Roll call.
Councilor Canales?
Yes.
Councilor Kelly?
Yes.
Councilor Gibbs?
Yes.
Councilor Talon?
Yes.
Carried.
Item 7.173, authorized budget transfer, general fund, economic development zone, Harborside, Master.
Motion by Counselor Canales, second by Counselor Gibbs. Discussion.
Yes, can we get an explanation of this for the public? Because I know there's money attached to it. so-
Yeah, well, there was money that was already allocated, that was spent from the general fund. This is a reimbursement from the grant back into the general fund.
And
Any further dis-
how much?
$100,
It's like 100 and
just
something.
over $100,000.
109,000.
870, yeah, 109,870. Discussion. Roll call.
Councilor Canales?
Yes.
Councilor Kelly?
Yes.
Councilor Gibbs?
Yes.
Councilor Talon?
Yes.
Carried.
Item 7.174, reappointment of Scott Domain as to zoning board of appeals.
Motion by Counselor Canales, second. Counselor Gibbs, discussion. Roll call.
Councilor Canales?
Yes.
Councilor Kelly?
No.
Councilor Gibbs?
Yes.
Councilor Talon?
Yes.
Mayor votes yes on this one.
Item
Only,
7.
sorry, just to be clear, there's one absent, one vacancy.
One no.
Still a tie, still need 4 votes to approve. One in the negative, mayor has to vote to move or decline, so, mayor votes in the positive. Carried.
Item 7.175, authorized dissolution of the Plattsburgh Progress Local Development Corporation, Inc., LLC.
Motion by Counselor Canales, second by Counselor Gibbs, discussion. Roll call.
Councilor Kelly, Councilor Canales?
Yes.
Councilor Kelly?
Yes.
Councilor Gibbs?
Yes.
Councilor Talon?
Yes.
Carried.
Item 7.176, authorized Grace Avenue closure for neighborhood block party.
Sorry, one moment. Sorry. Motion by Counselor Canales, second by Counselor Gibbs, discussion. Roll call.
Councilor Canales?
Yes.
Councilor Kelly?
Yes.
Councilor Gibbs?
Yes.
Councilor Talon?
Yes.
Carried.
Item 7.177, authorized street closure for Riverhawk, Marion to Margaret.
Motion by Counselor Gibbs, second by Counselor Canales, discussion. Roll call.
Councilor Canales?
Yes.
Councilor Kelly?
Yes.
Councilor Gibbs?
Yes.
Councilor Talon?
Yes.
Carried.
Item 7.178, authorizing the procurement policies and procedures for the city of Plattsburgh as revised.
Motion by Counselor Canales, second by Counselor Gibbs, discussion.
Just can we get a little bit more background on this, please, for the public?
This was an updated change based on the ethics board recommendation to further clarify the chance that a city employee may do business with the city of Plattsburgh. There are already items in our current code as well as New York municipal law that does protect against that type of business transaction between a city employee and the municipality for which they work. This particular clause just solidifies that a bit more. And this is an update to the procurement policy, including that clause that was recommended to be included by the ethics board.
Thank you.
Any further discussion? Roll call.
Councilor Canales?
Yes.
Councilor Kelly?
Yes.
Councilor Gibbs?
Yes.
Councilor Talon?
Yes.
Carried.
Item 7.179, authorizing approval of peer drug contract agreement.
Motion by Counselor Gibbs, second by Counselor Canales. Discussion.
I thought this is one of the most robust systems that any government agency could possibly acquire. I'm excited for us to have this. This is good.
Any further discussion?
Yes, I agree with Councilor Canales. I'm looking forward to the implementation of this and accessing it and having information available to the public to do as well. So I think this will be a really good move for us.
Any further discussion? Roll call.
Counselor Canales?
Yes.
Counselor Kelly?
No.
Counselor Gibbs?
Yes.
Counselor Talon?
Yes.
Mayor?
Yes. Carried.
Item 7.178, authorizing budget transfer, general fund data processing contract services.
Motion by Counselor Canales, second by Counselor Gibbs. Discussion.
How much is this going to be?
$9,000.
And this is for
The payment.
the one prior to
The
it.
balance payment for the prior resolution. Any further discussion? Roll call.
Counselor Canales?
Yes.
Counselor Kelly?
No.
Counselor Gibbs?
Yes.
Counselor Talon?
Yes.
Mayor Rosenquist?
Yes. Carried. No need for executive session. Is there any new business to come before this council? Seeing none, I'll now entertain a motion to adjourn. Counselor Canales, second by Counselor Gibbs. All in favor?
Aye.
We're now adjourned.